Sup, duties? It's been a while. So I was actually doing this project for a website, and I haven't done like a project that's kind of just been personal stuff for a long time. So I was like, hey, let me stream it while I get the chance, because I haven't been able to do much streaming because it's just all client stuff, and trying to remake it as a personal project just takes so much time. But since I was doing this anyways, thought it would be a good opportunity to stream. Hence, I'm here. Ugh, got the hiccups. I actually wouldn't be surprised if all these songs got flagged. This whole stream just gets muted instantly. Get slow. Sexual seduction. Seduction. I think I might just cut this thing on half to make things go a little bit faster. So, put blockage here in the middle. I wanna take it slow. By singing, they'll definitely mute me. I'm offended. You miss me, dude. I miss you too. I've wanted to do like tutorials and streams. It's just I've been so busy. but this is a good chance to do it. If I'm not careful, I might forget I'm streaming, so I need something to remind myself. Otherwise, I'll just sit here quietly. I think this is kind of what I want, but this needs to be a lot rounder, so I'm gonna pull these in. Like so, and then the outside part. This song is extremely long, so I'll skip this one. That's probably gonna get blocked. So the guy that wants to pay through the Cash App, sorry, I only do through PayPal. It's just an effort for me to offer out different payment methods to individuals, because I've had other people also didn't have PayPal, but yeah, it's just going to take out time for me to now try and sort that out, and there might be issues and all that, so... I might cheat here and no, I don't need to. I can just add in another line up here. Okay, then this bottom section needs to be flatter than the top. Bad girls treat me well, break fast, die young. Hands high. Cheeky, cheeky. Ooh, what's going on there? Bad girls treat me well. Okay, I might need to straighten out some of these lines if it has issues with the reflections and stuff, but I think it'll be okay. And this top section, maybe just round it out a little bit more. So I'm just going off one reference image, so it's a little bit tricky to kind of see, and it's also glass, so it's like hard to see where everything is. It's kind of different when you have versus when you have like 50 different actual photographs of this thing, not something you just found. Cool. I think that's what I want. Hands high. Get down. Hello from Turkey. I'm good, how are you? How did I learn modeling? Just through practice, dude. Good thing is doing like a 30-day modeling challenge, and then you have like a list of things to model every day, and then obviously it has to increase in terms of like complexity and stuff. I just started off with a bench, which is basically like 5 cubes, and then eventually end up like modeling like screwdrivers, and eventually the last thing I had to model was like an actual car, which took like a long time, but that's a good way of learning. I haven't actually bought any 3D courses. I've bought like a lot of business courses recently, but 3D stuff, for the most part, you can just get it off YouTube, and the technical stuff you can get off like reading manuals and stuff like that. How do you get noticed by potential clients? I don't like answering these client question stuff because I've answered these before. I mean, it's really basic knowledge in terms of finding clients if you really just think about it. If you want clients to find you, you first have to know you exist, so you just need to be in where clients are looking. So you just put yourself on YouTube and Behance and all this creative like if a client's gonna Google for artists, like where they're gonna look, you just need to make sure that you're there. And that's like the organic methods, and then there's like paid methods, but I'm guessing if you don't really have many clients, then organic methods is probably better, but it's also hard to track. But it is kind of like, if you just think about it yourself, that's probably the answer. If you just try and think about, oh, how do I find clients? You'll probably know the answer yourself. It's just actually about doing it. I've had students who signed up for like coaching. Also, like just purely just like me help them find clients and stuff, and they already knew all the answers. They just pretty much just signed up just so they could have what's the word? Just because now they've invested money in something, they're more willing to do it. So they've signed up to coaching just so that they have something to lose if they don't do it properly. But most people already know what the actual answers are when it comes to like finding clients and all that. Oh, I just farted, it smells. Okay, the scene's gonna contain a flower, and I always think I've done tutorials on this stuff, but I don't think I've actually done like flowers and stuff, tutorials on them, because I do them for like clients and stuff. It's like, oh, I've already posted this stuff, people know how to do it, but I think I'll just make this on stream so people know how to do this. Because like it's kind of weird when you get to a certain level in terms of any skill set, you just assume a lot of things are simple, But to someone like who's just started out, it might not seem that simple. So I will make this on stream. It might take a bit longer. Stream might be longer, but it's not like I'm on a time limit here or anything. Ooh. What am I looking for? Where's my assets? Nature. We will go. Which flower should we pick? I don't have any white flowers, but I can probably create one with a little bit of Photoshop editing. Yeah, we can make one. This is a just as I get. And this is as close to heaven as I get. This doesn't look right. Let me just check this other project just to see how I did this texture here. Multiple ways I might have done it. So, and this is as close to heaven. Okay, so I don't need to go and do anything hectic, just double this. This is as close to heaven as I can. Yeah, I'm doing a perfume product render. Thing is, I'm doing a lot of client work, but a lot of it's not shareable, so it's kind of hard. I'm even considering just getting someone else to do this stuff for me. It's kind of hard to like just share it on and update like all your renders and stuff online. So you almost have to make personal versions that are similar to the client versions you've done, which obviously creates twice the amount of work. But for this one, I think I'll just do it because I got a bit of time, and it's also nice sometimes just relax and not just do a project file just because I enjoy doing it, rather than it's like, oh, it has to be work. So I need to divide. What am I doing? Okay, so we need to isolate one of these. And then we can just shift that so we go 25 and 50. Let me just get rid of these lines here. Let's keep it like that. Why is this not connecting? When the sun goes up, I think of you. Now, each flower petal will be slightly different, so it might be safe just to... Whoa. What happens if I delete that and then do this? Okay, let's send her this axis. Delete that. Cool, still works. Just roughly have this mapped out. I think of you, that's a problem. Na, 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 na. Undo, undo. I'm debating how this thing should look. I'm also scared of opening the wrong file. Okay, I can do it this way. I can go dun 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 dun. When the sun goes down, I think of you. Sorry, okay, this is taking too long. I'm wasting time. And let's just... Okay, I don't need to do that. Let me just do this. You're wasting time. 50%. I think of you. Okay, we got a flower petal. How often do I take a break after doing 3D works? I don't really have breaks. Well, it depends on what you mean by break. Do you mean like during the day? Like what's my schedule like? Or do you mean like between client works and stuff? I think I'm a bit of a workaholic. Like I get anxious, like today went to the beach and all. I get anxious like when I'm not working. Well, depends on how you define work as well. So I don't really get days off. Like a lot of my day I'm not really physically working on something like if you mean like, oh, I've got this client thing that I need to do and I don't feel like doing it. That's like 1 or 2 hours throughout the day. A lot of the day is just like focusing on like business stuff related to getting more clients and stuff like that. Then actual client work is actually a very small amount of the day. And then the rest is just focusing on other things. What was I doing? I was fixing this thing. So we need to go axis 0, 0, like so. So this thing is, this grid thing is not, I'm not too happy with it, but I'm not planning on deforming this pedal that intensely, so it's not a huge deal. I actually probably should have, yeah, okay, this it's not a huge deal. Let's not focus on it too much. Then I need to go and generate UV coordinates. Should probably keep a saved version of it, so save. I call this flower petal FP1. Generate coordinates and so the texturing and the displacement maps and all that will take care of a lot of things, but I might still have to do some geometry deformation. Sure, I need to get an HDRI here. How'd my freelancing gig go? Oh, do you mean the one where I flew away? That one went actually quite well. So I've been helping people with got like some important renders that needs done, and I needed someone who's pretty good. So it's kind of like did this like 1.5 to 2 month thing contracts, helping them with like a bunch of projects, and got to a stage where they're like, hey, can you actually fly down and help us out, because communication, all that stuff's faster, put you part of a team. And I was like, why not? Went well. It was only for a week though. I don't think I could do that for like extended period of time. I was considering staying maybe 2 weeks as well, but yeah, I like working from home. It's much more comfortable. But it was cool, being around other people that also do what I do. You learn quite a lot there. The only huge effort was taking my workstation. I literally have to fly this huge thing with like 2 screens. That was a massive effort. But yeah, I'm working on getting a laptop because now I'm like traveling again next month. It's in like 4 weeks, which is actually insane that it's so close. But I'm gone. This time I'm leaving for like 3 months. Also, I'll need to take a laptop so I can still work effectively. I'm going to try and get a laptop that's similar specs to my workstation. Obviously not multiple GPUs and all that. That's not possible, but as close as possible. And then I might even just use this workstation just as like a render farm. That would also be nice. So I'm still trying to figure out why you get these little bumpy things here. And that might be the level of detail. But I have a feeling it's to do with the bit rate of my displacement map, because my displacement map's only 8 bits. But again, it's not the biggest thing in the world. So I'm kind of doing things off screen. I probably shouldn't do that. I'm just adding in displacement maps and all that stuff. So it might even be a good idea to reduce the resolution, because if you increase it, like, you start to see details that you don't want to see, like these little cracks there. So reducing it might actually blur some of that stuff out. Like so. Just give it a little bit of riff, and not so reflective, like so. Change this to universal. Turn that down. Diffuse. Okay, for the most part, that's the texturing. Then we need to clone this thing. But first, we need some variation. So we'll duplicate a few times. We'll do 4 different pedals. So this is FB2, 3, and 4. And then, so for like individual ones, you'll just move this thing like 25% that way, because it kind of is like on a slider like that. So easily just change out the variations like so. And maybe let's go down and do that one. I think I've done that one already. Yeah, so I also want them to all look similar, so these are all pink. I guess I'll edit in Photoshop anyways, so it's not a huge deal. But that's our 4 different pedals, and then we clone that. Oh. For now, I'll just do 1 pedal, because doing 4 at once is going to take a while. So I'll just focus on 1 and just get this down. So let me actually do that. Okay. How does this thing... How's this thing gonna look? See these little lines here? That's because we got a displacement map in. But that's not a big deal. I've dealt with that before. Can fix. Can fix, yes. Okay, now the positioning of this thing and all. I think I want it to sit a little bit. Oh, it's already a lot further back than I thought. Like here. I might need a less compressed lens because this already looks like it's right behind it. So let's do 80. Like so. All the scene creation stuff takes like 90% of the time, but it's like puts in so little of the actual quality. I lied, it takes like 60% of the time, like the other 40% is actually making it look good. So the flower, for the most part, like I've got like it in position. I think I want to do the flower last, because I could spend forever on this thing. So I want to do all the scene and the lighting and all that stuff first, and then the flower last, because I might focus too much on the flower, and the lighting and all that stuff affects it anyways. So we'll do that last, I think. Where is this thing? Yeah. Cool. I think we'll do floor ripples now. Appreciate the work you're putting in the tutorials. No problem, my duty. I don't mind. God bless me with lots of love and wealth. Thanks, dudes. You like working from the office, sense of discipline, otherwise you just lounge about. Yeah, I mean, everyone's different. Some people need to work in an office, otherwise they get distracted and stuff. I personally Hey Gavin. You've been gone a while. I personally I've never like had an official job, so I've always kind of worked from home, so it's just normal to me. But a lot of people, yeah, they need kind of like their own. Interesting, a stream. A lot of people do kind of like need place for work and a place for home, and like it's like discipline, stuff like that. Yeah, everyone works in their own ways. I don't think, I thought like it would be cool to be part of or even like, yeah, I'm even reconsidering like, cause I kind of wanted to like do my own 3D animation studio, like a really big one, but now I'm kind of considering just keeping it small, cause I'm not sure if I do like the whole office situation. Like even if you're working with big clients and stuff, it's just like a lot of stress and all that. And I think I kind of like where I'm at right now. It's very chilled. Still get paid a lot, and you can kind of do your own hours and be wherever you want. And it's not like you have to be at a certain place every single day, and you have to do certain projects that you just handed to. So there's upsides and downsides. Obviously, with having a job, I'm lost here. Let me just find this quickly. Gradient. Obviously, with like having a job, you have like a certain sense of security. It's like a certain amount of salary at the end of the month. And yeah, so I need to turn on. Well, that's already on. I just need to apply it. That would help. So here we need to go. I think I should box this cubic. I don't know if that will change anything here, but we need to go circular. It's not updating as quick as I want it to. What am I doing? So I need to go double nuts. No. Double nuts. That's not doing what I want it to. I've done this before. I don't know why it's being so strange. Anyway, I think even that's fine. I've gone a crazy amount before, and I don't think it was necessary. So I can just go 10, 10, 10, 25. Where's my reference here? Yeah, that's fine. Then we need to layer that up. Gradient. Circular. Okay, so I might actually double this. Double it one more time. Cool. So this is our flowers. Then I think we need to chuck away this generic H2RI and just pop in a studio one. I've got some custom ones here. Let that thing load in. Dun dun. Dun dun. And we also need correct settings here. Refresh. and the deep blue sea. What are we having fun? Okay, I need to pop up this reference here. Is Adobe Acrobat? Okay, I need to organize my files because 2019 stuff needs to go in its own folder now. I'm already starting to get confused. Okay, so this is Dover Blush. We need a... Oh, where's this thing saved? Okay, that needs to go. Received assets, reference. So this isn't Dover, this is Dover Blush. I made a mistake, so I need to actually go and undelete that thing I just deleted. So this is Blush. I delete that one and open that one. Cool. Would I travel abroad given the freelance opportunity? It would obviously have to pay well for me to go out my way, because I've already kind of got plans. Like, I'm going to Bali for 3 months, and for me to like go away from that, already freelancing, it'd have to be a good reason to do so. And in a lot of situations, I don't need to be in the office with them unless they've got a lot of projects. Like when I recently flew away for freelancing, that's because you're like working with a team, working on like a lot of projects, and there's just a lot going on, and it's very difficult to coordinate stuff if you're not in the same room with a person. You have to like do all these online calls and stuff. But yeah, for me to the fact that I'm already traveling abroad just to travel somewhere else, it had to be a good reason to do that. This is our floor, and I need to get some lighting in here. So this will be our capucci cap. Yeah, I'm farting like crazy right now. Hey, my man's half naked. So is your phone working now?
Yeah, it was my previous.
Your previous one? So the one that got wet today?
No, I haven't tried. I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, eh?
No, because I actually got given this phone by my friend's called Octane.
Yeah. I'll take a look at it. Huh?
I told her, she was like, it was yours. I'm like,
I'll take a look at it after I'm done here and see. Yeah, it is the salt water, but it depends if the salt water actually got inside your phone
Yeah,
in certain areas.
yeah, causes corrosion, short circuits and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like water damage like water in general isn't bad. Like pure water.
Yeah.
It's if it conducts electricity and shit, it creates shorts and fucks up components. No, but I'm kind of impressed by. It literally took me maybe 20 minutes to get back to kind of where I was. Just signed with Google.
That's cool.
WhatsApp being loaded back up. But
Yeah, Google's amazing these days. You can just sync it.
I was a bit worried about FFP because I remember in the past thinking the delinking apps were rubbish, but this didn't even ask me to delink. My other one got verified on my other phone, which makes sense because like what if your phone gets stolen or something? You don't have access to it.
Yeah. We were fearless. Let's change this. Okay, that looks like effort. Let me delete this light. And just in this color channel, try and match it closely. Mm-hmm. That's too pink. I needed more of a... Let's see... Needs to be like a cherry color, not pink, like that. And I think this background's also too pink, so maybe a little bit more on the cherry side. Ooh. Less saturation. Yay, like that. Okay, now we need to fill this thing with liquid, because that's also going to affect some things, so we need to make sure that goes correctly. Turn off texture. Splitterino. Okay, so this is our glass cap, and that goes in our bottle. So this is blush. Let's just say 50 ml. I'll correct that later. And then put this in here, and then this will be our liquid areno. Da-na-na-na-na. I'm not sure if I like the way that looks. Anyway, we need to go and fake shadows. And then this is our liquid. Okay. I might cheat this as well, because honestly doing this transparent way kind of looks like effort too, so I'm just thinking about how this should be constructed. We might want to go and up this so we get some more refractions and stuff. Bump this up to like 30 for now, or even like 50. Then so the glass, I think, will have no transmission, just completely see-through. Then that will have a little bit of it, and now I can start adjusting some of this geometry. So I need to make sure I'm selecting that and the glass, and I need to go select, invert, and hide polygons. Oh. Okay, select, fill selection, hide. Around here. I could use a little help around here. Take that there, select it from here, and squish you in. Okay, then we need to select these, select, invert, and hide those. Oh. I could use a little help around here. So these need a couple little dots in the middle there. And we need to raise these up now. Subtle things like that. I just need to make sure I'm very careful. Things like this happen with glass where it's like now you can see it's not like a consistent reflection. Here it's kind of thicker and there it's like thinner. Stuff like that gets on my nerves and I'm very picky about that, but if I don't select these ones and push it up, I think that will look better. Okay, and what about using a normal texture instead of a displacement map? Not for the flowers. That like that wouldn't work because normal maps have a limit. Like the point of a displacement map is that it just goes a lot further. So it wouldn't work for the flowers for displacing them. That's what a displacement map's supposed to do. I don't like what's going on in here, but I can probably fix that. I already showed how I did the ripples. If you just skip back a little bit on the stream. Loving the music. Yeah, it's a Spotify playlist. It's just songs that I pick up along the way. I'm a little bit nervous about these glass reflections, to be honest. And I think these things are too round. This section, like these edges are too round. I think I need to hard them out a little bit. Anyway, we need a little bit of a distortion and a holy chi going here. So let's do glass. Delete, select, and hide all. Let's probably do that. Okay, so first step, I don't like how these things are so schmooze. So do that. Then you add a little lineage in the middle. Okay, then I think this glass needs to deform as well if I want this thing to look right. So let's delete that. What am I looking for? Fill. I need. I can just do this. Wait, align the normals. Okay, then. Dun, dun, dun. This thing is still doesn't look the way I want it to. Wow. Considering even just delete. Zero that out. Zero that out. And that one. And that one. I think that might do what I'm looking for. Mouse is acting funky. Let me just unplug this thing and plug it back in. Okay. I need to select these lines. Doing things like this is actually a lot harder than actual client work, because client work sometimes you'll get the model, a lot of the time you'll get like all the graphics and stuff rather than having to make it yourself. Like the reference images are very high quality and they're all kind of photographed in the right way with no distortion and all that. When it comes to doing like personal projects, you just get like really bad references to start off with. Actually takes a lot longer. So you see these nice little refractions here. That's what I'm looking for. Now, I think the reason why I'm getting this little blob here is because I just extruded it too far. So I might need to decrease that extrusion range. So delete this again. Select, invert, mesh split. I feel like something is wrong. Okay, let's just extrude this by 1. That was a lot of effort for not a lot of visual difference. Yeah, this stuff is harder than client work. Client work's actually a lot easier. Maybe not. Let's not say harder. Just takes a lot more time, a lot more effort. You actually need client work. You don't need as much quality as well. Like they're not really as picky with the quality. But the stuff you're provided with is a lot less than if you're dealing with a client. The client provides all this like useful stuff which makes your work easier. Therefore, building the project itself is a lot quicker, a lot easier. Which is why I actually kind of stopped doing all these personal projects, because like, why should I do it? Until it's like, oh, I actually want more updated stuff to put on my website, and can't always just share the client stuff. Hence, I do this. Okay, let's not focus too much on the glass. Let's start actually doing other stuff. Otherwise, I'll be sitting here for 3 hours. Okay, so the ripple On the floor, so this is our floor. Or let's call it ripples. Let's make these floor 35. And I think I want less ripples because this is kind of intense. Wait, what if I blur this thing? Okay, that's a little bit less intense. Maybe make this thing 60. I just want enough depth of field. Something I should probably do in Photoshop just to blend this thing with the background. Because, yeah, I should be careful not to do this inside of 3D, because now if I introduce the flowers, it can cause issues. And I actually forgot the flowers are coming in here. So the flowers I also might just do it in a separate file and then Photoshop it in, because trying to match the lighting of this thing and the flowers together might be effort. So I think I'll do this the way I normally do things and do a lot of it in Photoshop. So let's get a label on here. We only need 4K. I've noticed if you go above 4K for like a label, you don't really see much of a visual increase in quality, but your file sizes will go up. So let's see, Dover, received artwork. Lorem. So here I'm just going to copy one of these things over. What's this font here? Mirrored. Yo, the song is long. Let's just do something simple here. Let's say let's just say blush. $150. Oh, it's starting to get late. I've become an early bird recently. Don't know what that means, but it'll work. So like this will go in working files, and I should have an assets folder. Ooh la la, so fresh. So ideally keep this all in a universal material, but that also could cause issues. So I might do mixed material for this one. And then just have our text, or yeah, let's call it text. And then just use this as a masky mask. Ooh la la, so fresh. Then just need to make sure that this is only mapped to this little section here. So and then put our glass on the rest of it on there. Okay, just trying to think. I want to render now, but how am I gonna do the passes and all? Let's drop that a little bit lower. Yeah, like there. Okay, so let's pop out some renders here. if that's there, I get this issue. I wonder what'll happen with these edge reflections here if I bend some of these in. Because I want some more details in here. What if I do no, that's not what I want. Let me see if I can use a light to get what I want. Have you ever thought of switching to Redshift? I've never used Redshift, dude. And it's also not really about being like software is just a tool. It's not like it's not like a religion where you have to switch. Like I've had projects where they said, hey, can you deliver this with like Redshift or Arnold? And it's like I'll just learn how to use the software and deliver the files and that. It's not like I have to, once I use Arnold, I'm gonna use Arnold for the rest of my life. I've never used Redshift before, but a lot of people use it, so I'm assuming it must be good. But I don't really have time to learn other software just for the sake of doing it, unless it's for a specific project. So I'm not getting the reflection stuff that I want. I might Photoshop that in the future, or I'll figure it out. But I think for now, it's okay. I'm not too happy about it, but what if I'm trying to play with like these here to see if I can, because here you can kind of see I'm getting a little bit of like reflection stuff here, but I want like a lot of that. Even down here a little bit. This is too clean. I might need to deform even some of this, so this one, I can feel a crash coming. This thing's being a little slow, but I'm also streaming. Hello, are you gonna update? 512. There we go. So I was wondering if that was gonna impact that, but Not really, so can just copy this over and try on the glass. Because I need some imperfections. This is looking too perfect. Bump that up a little. That could work, and I also don't want to make it look too imperfect, so it starts looking ugly. Like now this is starting to look a little strange. Okay, so yeah, let's start rendering. So I need I do kind of want a bit of a gradient kind of style here. Let me just test if I put a gradient in the back itchy, make it like small, and just give it that color. So I need to change this pinkish reddish, change this to step, and make you a little bigger. So this gradient in here is what I'm looking at. That could also look kind of cool. Then for this, so our liquid, I should give it a different name. Maybe give it a bit of a yellowish tint and push that up a little bit. Oh, can you feel that delay? I can feel it. I think that's the CPU not being very happy. Okay, it needs a little bit of blur because I can start to see some of these displacement map stuff coming in, and I think that blurs it out a little bit. I still need everything to be a little bit brighter, and I might need just a second light here in the back, a really small one, like that small, like 3, and just like push it down a little bit. Let's see if something is wrong here. I could use a little help. I could use a little help around here. Okay, this inner piece here is still too dark, and maybe if I reduce that, it'll look lighter. Two. I could use a little hell around here? That looks okay. What's the date? Dun, 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 dun. Let's give it a layer ID of 2 and number 2. So we don't need, I might need that. Okay, so we don't need the diffuse filter, we don't need the roughness or the opacity. That's useful. That's not, and that's not, so we can get rid of that. Do 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 do. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. I think the background we don't need a excuse. You don't need a pass of that because we're just gonna add it in Photoshop. So let's render out. Let's do. I'll have. Okay, let's do 5K. 5K. Okay, that's not necessary. This is only for personal stuff. I know I'm not gonna put this on a billboard, so I'll do just 3K. And then for settings, just maybe bump this up to 0.3. I think the rest is fine. Okay. Thanks for the great tutorials. Shot, dude. Should make a tutorial about Photoshop, Illustrator, C4D wise. Yeah, I'm actually, I don't want to say this because that means I might feel like I've done it and then not do it. I'm actually making a tutorial. It's kind of like the one that I did for Capture Total, like the stream I did for Capture Total, but not everyone wants to watch like a 4-hour video. So I'm kind of making like a more condensed video about that, like the workflow with your file naming and your file organization and how you take your Illustrator. Because like if you got like a client project, they usually provide like the labels in the Illustrator file for all the stuff that they'll actually print on the bottle. How you take that and you put it in Photoshop and like you use materials and stuff like that to actually render out all your pack shots and stuff. So I've done like the modeling section, and now I've actually had to go and like make an actual Illustrator file for the texturing, which is annoying, but I've done that. Then next is just like making the different files for the different bottles. See, if it's client work, they just provide it to you, but I actually have to try and like make a concept version of it, which is effort. But yeah, I should have a tutorial on that at least in the next month or so because I'm going traveling in like a month, so before then I should have it out. This is annoying. I need to squeeze this out a little bit. Oof. That doesn't look good. I need to get rid of this displacement map. Turn that off. That looks horrible. Let's just re-render this thing. And for now, I'll just keep it at 1000 samples, because thanks for the great tutorial. You're welcome, Didi. Songs are so long. So let's change up the vibe a little bit here. I'm just gonna grab some water quick while this thing renders. Still need to worry about the flour. I probably won't do anything too hectic for the stream, and then maybe in my own time I'll just make it look better. Because also in my own time I get to take breaks. If I wanted, I could just go watch a movie now, or the movie's too long. Watch like a video on YouTube or something. But when I'm streaming, it's like, no, you have to do this constantly, which can get a bit tiring. So I don't think I'll spend too much time on it. Where do you find clients? I'm kind of set up in a way that, well, if you want to know, I should make like a blog post or something on this. I'm considering like even like doing podcast episodes, like long ass podcasts, like explaining everything, because then I could just link you to that, because I do get these questions a lot and it's complicated. It honestly isn't even about like the tactics of finding clients, it's about like your actual work ethic. Probably already know some methods you could try to find clients, but the question is if you've even tried them. If you just Google how to find work or how to find clients, I'm sure you'd like actually find answers on there. You have to just test it and see if it works. But it is hard, but that's why not a lot of people actually find work, and only like a few people do get work, because it's hard. It's like any industry. This thing is not centered in frame, and that's kind of bugging me. Oh, I forgot about the layer samples for this mask here. But it's not a huge deal for now. Just quickly update before I forget later. 1,000. Open up Photoshop. Okay, so I need to do ripples next. Why does this look different? I think it's because I added in this other light here. I'm low-key confused. Something is off. Okay, let's turn off all our lights here. Just go one by one. That actually looks kind of cool. Could do like this epic black and white version of it. But don't. Okay, that one's a big one. I think that's what it looked like before, and then I added in this big one here. Couldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't have it. So I'm not entirely sure how to just render out like this, and how to render out a separate thing together in one Photoshop file. I just don't want to do this in two files. I'd rather have it all on one. Like I want to render this out, but in fact I don't even need to. I can just render out this as a separate file. So this will be let's call this V2. So that's for our floor. Okay, our colors are off, and I think that's because this is on linear. Wouldn't have it any other way. I'm confused. That even looks off. So I don't use multi-passes. Messes up things. Let's try V3 and then render out another one. And then if this doesn't look right, I'll just change up the way I'm doing the passes so that it doesn't mess with my colors. Do you think working for a studio is a lot easier? There's pros and cons to it. So the pros are you get a lot of 3D experience in terms of like you get projects, you get a lot of projects, different types of projects. You get to work with other people. It's also a sense of like security and all that. Oh, that looks right. Cool. The downside to it is in terms of growing with your like your business and stuff, that's where you're more limited. So your salary, like if you think of like a job, your salary only grows like 10% every year or so. It's like rare that you see like a huge salary increase yearly. Whereas if you're freelancing, your next job, you can just double your price if you really wanted to. And when you're working for like a studio as well, like everything's kind of handed to you for the most part. You don't really have to deal with actual clients. You don't really have to deal with things like the legal side or like your invoicing and like all the actual business and taxes and all that. So you don't really learn much in terms of that. And your terms of agreement with like every month is kind of the same. So those are kind of like the downsides, but like the positive sides, your 3D skills will grow, but your business skills probably won't grow as much. So it depends what your priorities are. You also get like, you meet a lot of people, so your contacts, you'll meet some contacts and stuff. Let me just rename this thing because I'm really confusing myself here. So this is the back plate. Let me just be very clear about that. This is our back plate. I shouldn't call it V4 and all that. Strange things have happened. So I don't think I would, for me personally, just because I've been freelancing for so long, I doing like a studio thing is not my thing. Because there was a time when I was very interested in like learning 3D, but you get to a certain point where it's like, how good do you really have to get? So it wouldn't benefit me as much getting like a lot better in 3D. So learning 3D skill set isn't that useful. Getting contacts, if I was like working directly with clients or other studios and stuff, that would be an interest for me. But not, I don't really care about like getting different types of projects and all that stuff. So for me, it's not a huge deal. But for someone, if you're like just starting out, you don't really want to go through the effort of like finding clients and dealing with all that, and you just want to like get projects handed to you, and you just want to like learn and all that, then working for a studio is probably the better option for you. But it is kind of like a 9 to 5. It depends on where you're working as well. Some studios, very creative, very chilled. Pay is decent and all that. And then some studios, it's like very stressful. There's always like, feels like a 7 to, like the place I went to when I flew to a studio was it last week already? Maybe a week or two ago. And that was that felt like a 8 till 8 o'clock thing. Like I was there from, woke up at like 6 or 7, got there at 8, and I would leave there at like 8 o'clock. So that was like intense. Depends on where you're working, I guess. But I think studio is the option for most people. Freelancing is very hard. It has a lot of positives to it, but it's not easy. This thing is taking forever. I feel like my render settings don't need to be so high. Yeah, I can probably drop this down to 500 and it'll look the same. That looks awful. Yeah, so little things like that get on my nerves. Yeah, so I think in my free time, there's a lot of stuff. I need to add like these specular details because this just doesn't look that great right now. Trying to think where I have an example. See, like all my examples are client stuff, and it's not like I can't show it, but it's safer not to. So yeah. I had this one bottle where it had like a lot of like specular detail, and I did a very good job with that. This just looks flat and boring. That also looks awful. And this probably needs a bit more rounding. Kind of looks strange over there. And I still need to do the flowers. Oh, how long have I been streaming for? 2 hours. I think let's just render these out and then do flowers. So that was our back plate. Now this can be our foreground. Yeah. I just had a huge sniff. Just 1 second. Your streaming is actually quite stressful. Not stressful, it's just doing this for long periods of time. It takes a toll on your body. I meant to switch up the scene a little bit. So for this foreground shot, it shouldn't be a floor. So let's test that. And then I think the lighting is also slightly different. Yeah. Of my future. I. So we need to save a separate file. Just call it CC. And then bring our foreground. Copy, Shift, Control, V. Na 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 na, the line. I'll be there. What am I doing? I seem to remember there's a way you could double knots this, like in Cinema 4D. See, in normal situation I'd just Google this, but I don't really have time to like start searching the internet. 50, 50, and I. Yeah, got the hiccups for days. Ugh. I've got you. That's probably not a good idea. Let me just. I'll be there. I'll be there. I've got you. There's wireless mice. My mouse just every now and then just decides to shut off, and you have to unplug it and plug it back in. It's so annoying. Dun, 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 dun. Constant human emotion. a good font for this? This is not really the font I'm looking for. Where's the font set, boys? Roboto, but Roboto's kind of too round. What about this one? And just do that. Okay. Activate Windows. Ever since I flew away and came back, that thing's been popping up, and then I fix it, and then it just comes back, and it comes back randomly as well. I don't know why it's doing that. Actually, I don't fix it. I just restart my PC and then it goes away. There's definitely something miscommunicating somewhere along the line, but I just haven't had the time to fix it. Botanical oils. I need different text. Ooh, that's not meant to happen. That's annoying. Times. Moisturizing care. I might even just say with Mark Daisy. Five. Let's say it with 5. Cool. I don't want to change my mind. I don't want to walk away. Let's delete Dancer Fresh and Blush and make this a logo. La la la. I feel like I need some kind of a logo symbol like on top. And also want to move this Mark Daisy a little bit up as well. Like that. But then it needs to reflect on here as well, but who cares? Let's be honest. It's fine. I don't think I need that. Okay, then background. Let's just sample that. Oh. Okay, sample that. The song is annoying. I've heard it too much. Hey. Am I a visual artist or photographer? 100% a photographer, bro. Photography all the way. Wouldn't you say a photographer is a visual artist as well? I think you would say that. Ooh, I'm busy overriding this file here. That's a mistake. Let's do this on a separate file. Separate layer. Teach me how to dug it. Teach me how to dug it. Yeah, if you're working at a studio, depends on the studio again. You're not really remote. I like traveling and I don't like being on like a 9 to 5 schedule. I like to just kind of work when I want to and work on my own pace. So I prefer the freelance life. Some studios, like a lot of studios, do actually pay quite well as well. So you're getting a steady flow of income also pays well. But long term, that's not really going to increase that much unless you some sort of magician. Because I know some really good people, like they're good at 3D and all, working at like studios for a long time. The salary hasn't really increased that much. Like it's increased, but my salary's increased in like 1 or 2 years, what took them like forever. And they're a lot better at the 3D skill set than I am, but depends on what your priorities are. If that's like your 100%, if that's like your end goal to be like the best 3D artist in the world, then obviously that's fine for you. Let's just disable this quickly so I can see what's going on. I don't really know what I'm doing right now. I kind of am just playing around. I think I was meant to do the flower and I got distracted. Okay. Focus time. Let's do 80. No, wrong way. 80. And 90. And is there a thinner version of this? I don't think so. Okay, then the background I was also meant to do in Photoshop, so I'm thinking of just adding in a white spotlight here. Prop a small one in and just scale it up. Okay, flower time. Fluid. So this will pop in a separate file. So this will be our Dover blush flowers. Uh-huh. Okay, I need custom. There we go. I was waiting for that. I need some custom textures for these leaves. And I've already done this before for a different project, so I'm gonna take it out of that. And then just edit it. So if I go to nature, custom. I just need to save this in. What was this one? Step one. Okay, I just need to save this in the. So weird when you like hear a shouting voice in the distance and it sounds like they're shouting your name. It's kind of scary. Okay, this doesn't need to be 3K anymore. Let's drop this down to 1000. Dun, 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 dun. Where did I save this thing? Okay. Dover. Copy, transmission, paste. Then just turn this off for now. Make this like 100. Also turn off this depth of field. It should not be on. Okay, we need some light bouncing going on, so we need a plane like so. Oh, it's way too far away. Yeah. No. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. This is gonna affect the lighting and stuff, so let's just do this first. I don't want this yellow in here, so let's turn that off. I think I just want a white leaf, maybe a slight tint of pink in there. Okay, then I might even just turn this off because that's also gonna be a bit annoying. Dun 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 dun. Just be yourself. This might even be better to just light with an HDRI, because doing it studio lighting vibes might look unnatural. It's kind of tricky. Why is it doing that? Is that the Bender format? No. Maybe that? No. So Okay, maybe Astral Light Studio is not the best here. Let's do standard lighting. Be yourself. That doesn't look great. Just remove that. Looked great in the other project that it was for, but not in this one. Okay, I also need to think about positioning of these petals and where how they're gonna sit in the scene. Okay, this thing's annoying again. 6, and I also need a effector. I think it's step. I love you like the sound in the ocean. That's not working. Oh, it's so annoying. That might work. So let's do. Oh, that's a lot. It's 16. Uh, 50. I want more bend on the edges, so I can just push these in. Okay, that looks a little bit weird. normal. Love you like the sound and the ocean, and then we in motion. I might render this out just so I can get something to start photoshopping, and then you can just replace the file. So this, I don't actually need all this multipass nonsense. Oh, I need that at least, but remove that. Yeah, so I don't think I need this plane or these lines. Girl, it's your birthday. Say good night, dude. What's up? I'm busy working on like this personal project thingy. So it's 70% of the way there. I need to add in this flower and then see what that looks like. But I think in my own time, I'll really start to polish it up. So like the building blocks of everything's there. So I might need to do some work on this glass here. Get some like good looking reflections and refractions and all that. Then I'll need to adjust what this label looks like. Maybe add like a little tree logo thing. That I need to fix, and also just making the glass in general look better. And I need some, yeah, then the rest will just be like adding the flower, make it blend in well, making it look glowy and pretty. But it's like 70% of the way there. I might need to increase this size. I don't think so though. So I need some organization here. So we got our logo. What's this? This is our gradients. Say oh, I need that. What are these things called? Let's just call them fills. Da, 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 da. That looks very small in this scene. Well, let's bump that up to 3,000. Hey. Dun, 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 dun. Now I also need to worry about the lighting matching. So this should actually probably, lighting should be coming from down there. So also need to pay attention to that. Let me just see if I can adjust that quickly. But this isn't what the final flowers will look like. I need to layer on like different layers of flower leaves and probably add like a little petal thingy in the middle. But it's starting to also seem like a lot of effort for something that's just gonna pop on my website. So that matches the scene more. Ah, so annoying. Da, 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 da. This is not a very good mask. This baby mama not here. Oh. I don't know if you can tell I'm starting to get tired now. Oh god, it is late. Okay, I'm gonna have to start wrapping up anytime now. Young money man. Put your hands up. want to rotate this in 3D space, but I can't. So yeah, this thing needs a little bit of work, but probably make it look kind of like that. Have like the little flower petals in the back. Background area, I think also might need a little bit of life. Man. I could have this moment for life. And in this moment, I just feel so alive. I wish that I could have this moment for life. Dun, 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 dun. No, 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 no. Hey, RGB. It's been a while. I'm doing great. Just had a really busy start to the year, but it's been very good. Okay, I think I'm done for now. The big thing is getting the flower right, and then also the glass reflections. But for the most part, kind of happy with everything else. Kind of. I don't know, I feel like... Let me just add this little thing in here before I forget. Because I think this needs to be here. Yeah, so this flower needs a lot of work because that'll really change a lot. So let's say this client project, I would like just open like a Google Docs sheet, make a note list. Flower needs like a lot of work. I'll really change a lot. Then need like some kind of logo here. Maybe have like a 50mm icon here, but that also might distract things. Maybe put like a little bit of text going on here. Be small. Then I think the background's okay. I do kind of want a bit more variation in terms of like the gradients and stuff. So you can't do a 4-way gradient in Photoshop, but I guess a good example is you just like plop one of these things in. Let's just find one that works. This might work, or you could even just change the color, so something more darker. There. We go 50%. Just having slight variations, so like having one there and like one there. And then obviously you just need to adjust it, so this I might mask out for the floor a little bit. But all this stuff kind of adds up. So now it's like looking something that would go in a magazine. That needs a bit of polishing, and I also need a little bit of glow. And I'm not sure what the best way. Let's see. So this thing could duplicate. Shh. Stop making noise. So I might even increase this blur even more. And then you can even just mask it if it's too intense on the bottle. You can just like Yeah, so this flower is a big thing. But I think leave that for another time. This is our noise. Hello. Oh. This makes it look a little bit more real, helps with the compression and stuff, so leave that there. And then this is our hue. I love it. Not a huge fan of this texture. I think this is a good spot for leaving it for another time. Cool. I'm off duties. Good night. God, I'm so tired. Had a long weekend. Cool duties. I shall see you guys another time soon. Hopefully it'll be quite soon. Cheers duties. Have a good